Oh, hello. I'm here. Woo! Exciting. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Woo! Hopefully this is all working fine. Cool. Oh, hello. Look who it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am working on villains today to complement. This is the hero we did last week, which I kind of hate. I've been working on it still today. I don't love my hero design. But there we are. You can see I've only done one of the feet. Might be my bad there. I probably should have done more. But yeah, I don't love it. The rendering, it's quite messy and not very neat. But we're moving on to do some hero design. Not some hero designs. This is the hero design. We've done the hero design for now. And we're moving on to do some villains. I have a few ideas for where I want to take it. I haven't fully decided yet. But we're just going to sketch out some cool stuff and see what we get, I suppose. Is the way to think about it. My touchscreen is not working, which is actually really irritating. Considering that's the whole point of this tablet, right? That it's a touchscreen. So, this may be a little bit clunkier than usual today because I can't do all of the things I want to do when I move. Also, my arm aches. Like, so much. Oh, I have a really nasty bruise on my arm from a sword. And just generally, like, my muscles still ache. And then I have to use them for drawing. But we'll see how we go. So, you will definitely like this theming, I would imagine. I would hope, at least. Let me just get close towards you. I'm trying to still figure out, like, the perfect way to sit at my desk. My new desk. I much preferred the old one. This is slightly weird and uncomfortable at all times, but we'll be fine. I also might switch back to the old drawing tablet at some point. But you will definitely like this kind of styling, so I'm going to start pretty simplistic. I'm actually going to do a full armature, I think. So, ooh, that's not a good start. That's a better start. I'm going to do the full armature, and then the rest of it. But the idea I have that I'm sort of excited for is I'm going to go... So originally I was going to do like demons, because obviously the main figure is an angel. But then I went slightly weird with the angel, right? Because as an angel, he's more of this, like... I said like too many times, but... This angel is more Egyptian. Very clearly, like... I hate that I keep saying like... I don't know why. But this is more Egyptian styled. That's where a lot of the styling is for this design. That's the sort of genesis of it. And what I'm trying to do is push something interesting. I was like, well, biblically, obviously a lot of biblical work is written in a time period where you have the Babylonian aesthetic, you have the Egyptian aesthetic, so surely an angel could be very Egyptian inspired, and that would be very normal. That's also, like, I gave him the dark skin, the Egyptian wrap. He's kind of got the ankh on his chest, the sort of ankh that's going to be fire through that. I haven't drawn that all yet, but similarly, it's like an Egyptian style axe with papyrus is that silver shape, so there's a lot of core things. Wait, I'm just going to quickly go over and like draw the things. That was not what I intended. If I just draw something, so like we have this. This is the ankh shape. Then I did look. The halo is an Egyptian style sun disc. That's papyrus. That's an Egyptian axe. It's a lion foot. It's a lion head. All of it is Egyptian styling. And I was like, actually, that works. This is cool. I think I like it. Uh, so then I went, why would I move to do normal demons? Couldn't I do something more interesting, maybe? And so that's the idea we're going with now, is can I do something more interesting than like it's a Christian-style demon? And so my theories are manifold, which is either I'm going to do like a pagan-style witch-type character for the villain, or I'm going to do a Babylonian-style witch. And I'm going to try these two aesthetics that are slightly different to each other and see what I get. But I want to start with a core armature and kind of see what I get for it. I'm going to use the same pose for a lot of these. I know that's less imaginative than the last one where I used a bunch of different poses. But I think it's more interesting for this one if I play more with, like... I might do more poses later. But for a little bit of expediency, I'm going to try something more pattern focused. This is more what I did professionally. I didn't do as many of the poses, although you're sort of supposed to. And what I want is something like, I want an arm coming across and going down here. Well, that's the wrong size. Let's actually put the point in correctly. That goes there, so then we have a hip. I can't undo as I normally want to, and it's very frustrating. Requires me to be a little bit more precise, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it is actually quite annoying. Oh, also, you haven't been on stream yet, so I'm officially an affiliate now. Which means you have loads of buttons you can play with. There are sound alerts and channel points that give sound alerts and stuff like that, so have some fun with those, play with those. I know, it's exciting. Also, the chat should linger for longer on screen. I don't know why that chat box isn't working as it's supposed to. It fades. It's not supposed to fade. Wait. There's like a thing at the bottom or a thing at the side of your screen. It's like a purpley icon on the right of the screen that should work. Oh, has the chat box now just stopped working? Is that what's just happened? No, you definitely do it because it's from my end, but it might just be weird to find. It's definitely there though, I promise. I can show you another time. If you can't find it today, it's fine. But yeah, they're either at the bottom of the screen or at literally the right of the... If you hover over the actual screen that I'm on, it should be there. It's like right next to my head. Or should be. Also may not work in Japan, but I'm not sure. It probably should. I keep practicing drawing this style of mannequin. It's called a Luma's mannequin. It's the same guy who does like the head construction stuff, designed this mannequin for the whole body. Yeah! I don't know if you could hear it. I don't know if it correctly played the sound or not. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the sound worked. I'm not sure. I will... I will sort it later. Oh, so close. What comp did you go? Tell me. I want to know your comp. We love good TFT games. So I want it to pull down across the body and feed out. Do I? Is that where I want this arm to be? Oh, it looks weird because they're kind of truncated still. I should finish this. Oh, that's a shame. What beat you? Because some comps are just really strong if they get to their full complement, right? It just happens sometimes like that. What's happened with those legs? I don't know how I want these legs to work. Oh no. Yeah. I played a little bit of this set, and I think the like tank comps are super strong at the moment. That was my interpretation. Definitely stronger than I expected. They really hurt. These legs are so bad. No, that's fair. Star Guardian can be good as well. I think it just requires good items and... Poor Garen. He's been bullied. 911, I would like to report a murder. Garen hath been murdered by your harsh words that are fully deserved because you, Garen. Oh, yeah, that will not help, right? Like, 2 rubbish items sucks in TFT. What's wrong with me today? These legs are terrible, right? Let's do this one. This is going to come out, in, down, there. Does it? Okay, that's getting there. Star Guardians is better against the squishy ones anyway, right? That's part of the problem. You don't really want to be into all the beefy comps with Star Guardians, I think. I think you prefer being against someone with like a squishy backliner that Seraphine can one-shot. But that's just how it goes sometimes, you know? You've done well. Going into another game, I presume? Now, because I'm going to make this character female, we're going to do some slightly different proportions. That's okay. You focus on your game, it's fine. I'm just going to sit here and yap as I draw. That's what I spent most of my life doing. Hehehe. There we go. These proportions are very slightly too weird, so we're just gonna pull it slightly down at the knee. Could try Wraith with Kale and Zac. That one's pretty fun. I played one the other day where I got a hero augment for Mundo and I just threw chairs at people the whole game. That was funny. And I just spilled my drink. No. Okay, it's fine. It wasn't on to anything important. We're all good. It was. It was just Mundo standing at the back being like, haha, have a chair to the face. He did like 26,000 damage in a single round. It was very silly gaming. The weird is about these legs, but let me sort that in a minute. Let's just do in and out. In and out. Okay, that does need to be wider for this. There we go. That's starting to approximate a human. Now, I'm actually going to do something weird, and they're going to have hooves for this as a core thing. I think that's a core design I want to keep. Yeah, that hoof was better. Oh no! That's fair, you don't have to play another game if you don't want to. That's the nice thing, I guess. You get to choose these things. Haha. That's the clavicle. That's chest. What have I screwed in these proportions? These proportions are not correct. This this is like way too tall. always forget you're a hardcore phone TFTer now. Look at you go. Yeah, look after your spinal cord as well, please. That's not a good thing. If your neck is aching, it's time to stop. Ah, yes. The lazy man's pathway. We're kind of getting there with this body. The idea of doing like one core body is so I don't have to redraw this every 5 seconds. I can just keep it as one template for the whole character, right? That's way too high. The outline's got to be like there. Because we're lumising, this comes in. And I'm going to change that tilt slightly. That's true. Total freedom of movement. That must be quite liberating for you. Goes from there, and then it comes back up. And then that comes down. What time is it for you right now? Ah, bedtime. Good. It's incredibly scribbly. Yes. And why can you not get comfortable? Ah, because you were sitting nonsensibly playing TFT. It's because that's not actually how the thumb works, that's why. That's why it looks weird. Yeah, that's not a great plan. I'll be honest. That feels like a really bad idea, in fact. In fact, that feels like one of the worst things you could have been doing, if we're honest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that checks out. Try to be more careful. I mean, that's nasty. It's very uncomfortable. That neck ache is going to stay for ages. You need to, like, properly put the effort in to change it if you don't want your neck to stay aching, I'm afraid. Not a straightforward one, that one. Come round. Okay, skeleton one is getting there. You can try, like, applying the inverse of that to it, right? Okay, so we're going to do a couple of things now, because I'm going to draw on top of this one. I'm not 100% happy with this skeleton, but I don't hate it that much, so I think we're going to go with it, because it's just easier to go with the skeleton I've actually got, you know. Woo! Congratulations! A rare treat, a comfy sleeping position. I really struggle with comfy sleeping as well, so I know what you're getting at. So the first thing we're gonna do is turn... Okay, but we won't turn all of our line... Oh, no, we can. We can. Layer settings, clip to layer below. I'm going to take this, and we're going to go to, like, a mid-tone blue. I'm going to fill it. I'm going to clip merge the layer below. Okay, it's blue. The reason it's blue is I'm then going to put that there. And then we're going to make another layer on top. And I'm going to draw again on this one. And the idea with this is that it's going to tell me very clearly, I'm going to differentiate what I've already drawn with whatever I'm drawing on top. So it's not going to feel silly and weird. So we're going to start with the head. And what I want from this one is more of that Byzantine style I was talking about. So I'm going to start with like a veil that goes to here. And we'll do hair that falls very clearly, like ringleted. Yeah, that can actually fall all the way. I think long is nice. And then we're going to go round. The whole head, we're going to have like the flat across fringe. And I'm just going to cut in a little bit here. The fringe is going to be a bit deeper. There we go. It's like an interesting first hairstyle, right? We'll actually put in another like metallic object here. Let's sketch that in a little bit harder. I'm going to go really close in quickly, even though we're just supposed to be sketching here, and I'm just going to do eyes in a way that's super noticeable. And actually we'll make this like string very clear. Right, because we want it to be very clear that this is a mask. Maybe do something more elaborate than that though. Yeah, let's do something a little bit more elaborate than just string. Keep all of that as is. I can come down here. We want to layer that a little bit. I think that's nice. So that layer comes in there as well. Actually, put that more of a solid fringe. And then we're going to cut in like a... mask holding piece. Maybe the mask just holds under the hair. Yeah, that's nicer, I think, actually. Then we're going to do... conforms to here. That needs a bit of a curve. Both of those arm pieces were bad. That's fine. Let's keep going with the core design for a second. We'll have our body underneath it, right? And then here can have the waistband. It shows a little bit there. Yeah, I might not do it in the sketch because it's just the sketch is what I'm thinking. And then if I choose this design, I can figure out that dynamic better. Because I think it's quite difficult to show what I want to show in this rougher sketch. And like the idea I have for it is a little bit too complicated for what I can achieve here. Which is slightly always going to be the problem. But I have to do, I think I'm going to do like 10 of these this week. So I've got to be careful not to agonize too much. This is probably already too much detail for a thumbnail. And the rest of them are not going to be this nice. But this is to get my creative brain kind of going. And because you're here. And it's drawing practice as well. I'm treating this as my drawing practice for today. I think my drawing is improving slowly over time, which is nice. One must endeavor. That needs to be a bit thicker on this line. I'm going to cut it in again here and this side. Actually, that doesn't make sense to have it drawn in. Just going to remove these for a minute. I'm going to go for these much more Byzantine trousers, which are very floofy, and then come in at the end. Well, I guess they're more Persian than Byzantine, but hopefully the aesthetic similarity is not too disparate for this to work. And then she is actually going to have now, the question already is she villainous enough? And this is where we get to do something fun. Which is I've designed this pretty neutral character, I would say. I don't think she comes across as a villain or a hero. So what we get to do is the fun thing. Oh, but she has the goat legs, doesn't she? That was the idea I was going with. So actually, let's end this a little bit earlier. There we go. And then, with a little extra effort, One looks more like a goat foot than the other, so let's remove that. And that. And actually, I'm going to make this a little bit wider. I'm going to change the dynamics of this just a tiny bit. Like that. And just do a little erasing there. Actually, let's just redraw the whole thing, shall we? I know the shape I want. Okay, we'll follow that dynamic for now. I can change these feet later anyway. So gonna stay pretty samey to what I have in the undersketch. I don't have too much desire to change them, but we're gonna put like proper jewelry. I feel like I want these to really tell a story. That's the thing I'm thinking with these bangles. Is I want them to be the main... Like, costume here is the main storytelling element, right? That's the trick I'm going for. Is that within all of this, the thing that's going to tell you the story I'm trying to tell you is the costumes that everyone's wearing. Like, our lion hero is very noticeable. But he's not really... His costume is kind of referential, I suppose. It tells you a lot about real things you're supposed to think about that character. You see the lion head and the wrap, and it's like, I want you to think of the time period that I'm trying to evoke. This character, I want their costume to actively tell you who they are and what their part in this story is, in a way that you don't with the hero. I hate drawing hands, though. Jesus Christ. I'm going to draw the hand later. I'm going to deal with everything else first, and then I'll go in and draw the hand with a proper reference for once. Because foolishly I did not get a hand reference into my reference file for this. So this sash I want to flow, but actually I want it to be... different to this. I want that to come across... not like that. Actually, maybe that as a sash type thing doesn't work. Let's do something slightly different. Rather than having this diagonal sash, I'm going to leave it, and then I'm going to have it be just the sash itself with ornaments. I wonder if I make those triangles. I think that's a cool That one's a tangent and a half. There we go, all these triangles. I'm afraid not. I don't do doodle requests, sadly. Not at the moment, at least. I might do it sometime in the future, but right now I'm working at this. And we've had this conversation before. This I'm gonna actually turn into let's do that more elegantly. So there we go. And this we're going to remove and just... There we go, let's make that the end of our snake tail, shall we? There we go. Let's have that kind of Yeah, open up there actually. No, I'm afraid not, sorry. Otherwise I'd never get around to doing the stuff I gotta do. Plus, I'm a professional artist. I can't just doodle for people. Defeats the point of commissioning me then, really. If you want a commission, you can send a proper request. And I'd be very happy to consider it. And also, let's be honest, I'm pretty wary of Nintendo IP right now. You got to be careful with those guys. They will sue you for anything, even a quick doodle, it turns out. There we go. I don't mind that stuff. There we go. Yeah, let's just draw those as squares for a minute. And then carve off the corners. And cut in. God, I hate hands. They're so weird to draw. What else are we going to do to make this interesting? Some of the more Byzantine things to go for. Well, let's take away this for a second and see what we get. It's not bad. It's not super dynamic and interesting. Let's add a bit more character, shall we? The right way to do that is probably the question, isn't it? What's the right way to add some more character to this? Let's figure out what to do in some of the blank space. So these fall. This is going to have just the curve from under here on display. Right. For the rib cage. That's going to cover that and that. That's actually too high up, and there needs to be more there. Which takes us to there, which actually means that whole arm is slightly out. But that's fine, I can fix that quickly. There we go. Still not quite there, but it's slightly better than it was. What is there to make this interesting? Maybe we follow the same idea. So with the angel it's matching against, there's some counterpart language I want to... So this is lots of circles. So maybe I want to do something with a bunch of triangles instead. So what about here? Let's... just make a pyramid there. And then let's keep going with that imagery, right? So why don't we... that needs to be straight across if I want to do that. Yeah, what do we think so far? Do we like it? Do we hate it? I'm not sure how I feel about some of it, to be honest. Oh, maybe that's better, actually. Maybe where that already is better. That might be true. Yeah, so then the arm is actually bare up to there. So then for this, let's give this... yeah. Let's give this some patterning. And I'm thinking a bit like actual cobra patterns. Like those diamond patterns that cobras have. Yeah, I don't like the legs either. And actually that needs to curve if I want it to have the curvature it's supposed to. It needs to curve on every point. Right, and that curves in. Yeah, there are some things here that just silhouette-wise aren't really working for me. There's not much point, I think, overemphasizing certain things. So there's no point me spending too much time thinking through parts that I might just scrap in a minute, right? So I'm going to try something different with the legs on another one. I'm just going to leave it for this one because in a minute I'm going to make this small and move on, right? And then we start another one. I've spent way too long on this one. An hour or so on a single thumbnail is kind of ridiculous. But it's got my eye in on what I want to achieve. And that's actually the thing that's valuable from doing it like this. It's probably still not that intelligent. Like, I should just be moving faster really now. So for the next one, that is what I'm going to do, right? I am going to move faster. But I think it was an interesting experiment. I think it's helped this design process to have done it. And it was good again, it was good drawing practice, really, wasn't it? That was the main. Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you. It's supposed to be a thumbnail, so it's gone a little long. Oh, that hand is terrible. Hate hands with a passion. Right, so I'm going to grab both of these. Actually, I can turn that off now. So let's whip it out. Construction lines don't make that much difference, to be honest. I'm going to shrink it. And we're going to leave that there. And we're going to do another one. And I'm going to go for a completely different vibe this time. Still a villain, but I'm going to go more traditional villainy with some bits and pieces, and we'll see how we do. So let's try... Same idea, right? Let's see what we can do with the same idea, but a different vibe. So what if instead of being this Byzantine style thing, we go... Let's go weirder for the goat legs. Let's keep them... But what if we really back joint it? Right, so it's super uncanny. So they're large, properly back jointed. That's too big. Let's see. So if I cut in here, I'm just going to go over, and it's going to back joint down. No, wait, that's weird. That's not how that's supposed to work. That's not how length works. Where are we at? That's the core piece. That comes in and then out, and that comes round and then down. Let's just erase some stuff. So make way for this. Oh, you know what I should do at some point is I should just get people to start like throwing words out for these. That'll be good fun. Oh, that's if you haven't seen the social media things, well, so that's going to be my insane Swordtember thing. So it's Swordtember at the moment, which is draw a sword a day. And I was like, I forgot it was Swordtember, and I love swords, but I forgot to draw any. So then I went, why don't I just save it up? And so on the 30th, which is next week, in a week in fact, so in this Tuesday slot, I'm going to do 3 hours and I'm going to do all 30 swords for Swordtember in 3 hours. So I'm just going to grab a whole list of prompts and go insane and try and do like a sword every 6 minutes or so, I think, and see how we do. I may be stretching myself too far. Ah! That got me. Thank you for following. That's so exciting. That's very kind of you. But yeah, so we're going to do this silly number of swords in 3 hours, which might push me too far. Maybe to the edge of breaking. But I do like swords. I need to get a list of random prompts to do, or I might get people to just like submit prompts for me to follow, which will be an insane idea. But we'll see. And I'm going to try and render them. I'm not just going to sketch them. I'm going to try and do like a full sketch into rendered sword within the 6 minutes for each. I don't know why this leg looks so terrible, but that's awful. Both of them are awful. I hate back-jointed legs. I really don't get how they work. Wait. Let's just flatten that. Why is that so weird? Okay, that's too thin. That's one reason why. That's fixable. Let's just... Whoop. That's a bit better. What has gone on That's too thick. Okay, okay, we're seeing the problems. Kinda. It's not too thin. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna... It is a thumbnail. I need to be nice to myself, which means no perfectionism. That's right, no perfectionism. We're all gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's definitely not deeply bothering me that neither of these are correct. Nope, that would never be a problem for me at all. Ever. I hate it. But I need to try and force myself to be faster. I took too long drawing the first one. So, that's fine. That's going to cut in there. I had totally forgotten, by the way, that I put the follower thing as a witch's cackle, so that really got me. I was not expecting it. It was really funny. I was having fun with the sound alerts. And so let's see. These kind of need to come closer together because they are actually legs. Yes. Ah, I see the problem now. I have made them as if they don't attach to hips. And thus they don't attach to hips. That's fine. Let's kind of create a body out of this. And this is where actually drawing in this rib cage is, as always, like incredibly useful. Always drawing your rib cages, folks. See, the legs look stupid, and I hate them. But it's fine. We're gonna work with it. We're gonna do something super weird and like goat-like here. Because why not, I guess. I think the first one is already a better design. Just innately based off this. That's chest outline, arm. We'll put the head somewhere around here. See, proportion. Yeah, it's huge. I realized. It's enormous. I just got bigger as I went up the page for some reason. Like, the legs are pretty big actually, but that's more in proportion to how I've actually drawn them for size. So the other issue is I've drawn like this top piece to the leg and it's just wrong, but in a really negative way for the piece. Because it doesn't attach to a hip. So it shouldn't be curving like that on either side. I'm going to come in, I'm going to fix this. So let's take that and that, and we're going to take that into the hip bone, which that needs to curve to, which is then going to come in. That's going to come there to the hip bone again. We love anatomy. Yeah, and that comes to there. That torso should kind of be like that. Then that can come in and go out again. It can come in, go out again. It needs to come lower down. Because goat legs are weird. That's belly button, which means that actually muscular-wise doesn't work, does it? No. So let's change that. Let's take that, which is the bit that does work, and we're going to pull it in. It needs to actually connect. There we go. And then we can rearrange the knee to straighten the leg back out. I love the ability to just manipulate stuff after I've drawn it. It saves me so much time redrawing things a million times to fix the perspective. Like, none of this is correct still, but it is better than it was. The whole torso is wrongly shaped as well, which hasn't helped anything. That is my bad. Let's redo that. And the head is huge. A huge head isn't necessarily the worst thing ever, though, right? Like, that's the trade-off. That head's just tiny. We'll fix that later. Okay, so that's the rib cage. Except that needs to cavern in more before it comes around. That's the thing here. This will look different in a second when I erase some of the overlines that I've been doing for no apparent reason. Okay. Let's just erase some stuff quickly. Because yeah, this leg is now like totally wrong. Let's see where I'm at and then go from there. Okay. Let's cut that round, I guess. Oh, I see. This one does not work very well. Like this... Honestly, what have I done so bad? No, I know what I've done so badly here. This needs to go this way. And then this should be coming over further, but actually that knee should then be here, which should then cut in here and then come down there. I'm going to delete that leg. This is a disaster. This side, we're going to replicate. I'm going to flip. I know it looks silly right now, don't worry about it. I'll fix it. We're just going to take the same components of leg, but I'm going to straighten it all. Because that articulation needs to come into it, so that's going to come around like that. And then that's going to come in and straighten up a little bit. And then that's going to come in and straighten up a little bit. I didn't mean to copy that one. There we go. And that's going to straighten at the end. And that's still a disaster. But it should end up slightly better than it was. Yeah, let's match with the level below. No, this is atrocious. I hate this. I'm going to redo it. But that's fine, we can do this. Let's start from a slightly different basis. So I'm going to draw the line of action anyway, which I want to curve through. Yeah. So this is my head, and I want it to curve through the leg. So we're going to put the head on this line. We'll leave that. And then I'm going to put the shoulders at a diagonal to that, which means the torso is going to come in on the weird diagonal as well, right? Like that's how this doesn't work because I'm drawing it badly. That comes around here. That line actually kind of comes there. Right, for the torso, because then, yeah, that's going to come round and through. That's our sternum, that's our belly button. which means hip 1, hip 2 are there and there. And our line of action is going to follow through, so we're going to cut in, down, and out again, which is then going to terminate in the hoof. And then this one can coil, so that's going to come in, straight, then it's going to coil back in, and then it's going to push out there. Is that how the back... No, the back jointing would actually go the other way because of the direction of it. So actually this hip's coming in, going that way, and then that one. Is it? How do goats stand? Crikey. Excuse me while I literally Google the word goat standing. Goat standing. Oh, I forgot goats have like really weird back jointing. That's not very helpful. Goats are even weirder than humans. Let's widen that, it comes in. You know what? I'm going to make it all smaller. We're going to work in tiny. Tiny form can sometimes be very helpful. Yeah, Soraka legs are not a bad shout. Although notably, if you've ever seen like the splash arts of Soraka, they never have her feet in it. They always cut it off. Oh, how did they do it? Quite interestingly. Okay. So for Soraka, they like pull. They're more like a horse than a goat. That's really interesting. Okay. That's actually very helpful, though. Thank you. So in this case, we'll try the Soraka thing. So you just draw human legs. So how do I want this human to stand? I want them to stand straight. Angled. No, I want one leg forward. I kind of still want that pose, but maybe we do something totally different with the pose than we already have. Let's try... What's a fun pose? Let's try more aggressive. Just tilt them forward. It's actually the wrong way if I want them to be aggressive. I need to take it and flip it. Yeah, let's do this. Let's go completely the other direction. And what do I want them to do with their feet? So they do like the full human leg to the knee, and then they back joint a little bit, and then they go down and through for Soraka. It's like that. And then the way that curves out for the leg is she has an absolutely normal human leg until here, where it's suddenly like back joints. And then that comes in and down, and then you have the hoof at the bottom, right? That compounds that. So that's like a Soraka style leg. Which, although not perfect, is definitely better than what I was doing. Now, in typical fashion, I've just drawn that for the wrong leg, because that's the leg for the other way. But that's fine. Well, I even just had it the right way, right? That's... This is just for this side. I just need to draw this going the other way. And then it's correct. Right, there we go. That socket in is there. And then on this side, that knee is going to come in at the same place. So we're going to do the normal human leg, if a little long. Long knee, short joint, and then long round with the back joint. That's way worse. Honestly, maybe I just do standing straight, because it's easy here. Yeah, I'm going to do that for a minute. So, not that. I'm going to grab that. We're going to copy it, we're going to paste it, we're going to flip it back to where it was originally. We're going to do neutral pose. Neutral pose. Now both of these are actually too low. So we're going to grab them. We're going to move them up a little bit. And then this torso doesn't work anymore, right? Because we've tilted them now. So we're going to take this, that's our juncture between the legs there, because it's just spread out. That's our pelvis. Right, that is the full pelvis there, with the tailbone there, so that's the spinal cord, so then we're going to totally flatten this out. Oh, we love anatomy. It's everyone's favorite part of art, right? Right. Now, that would be a very effective male character. But it's not a male character. It's a female character, which means we must follow female rules of anatomy, which means we have to widen the pelvis. Both sides, and then we are going to slightly more shape the waist. Now, it is an idealized version, right? Like, this is not what most humans look like. But that's fine, they're a goat person anyway. Oh, I could have symmetry tooled it, actually. That would have saved me a lot of time and energy, but oh well. Right, let's just get our ribcage going. So that's going to be our ribcage. That's too high. Ribcage is going to be down here, isn't it? There we go. So we hang the ribcage on the body like that. Take it up to the neck, which means our neck is going to be like there. That comes across, that's an arm, that's an arm. Does that look right? Does that look bad? That looks bad. Yeah, but I'm also thinking in terms of like the storytelling, like if they have goat legs, they then have to be able to have the core strength to support the goat legs. Right? So already we're getting to like a weird moment where physically they must be built very differently for this to work. Right, but like that waist is very thin, that torso is very wide again. Yeah, no, it is. This needs to be smaller, and it needs to be like here. Yeah. There. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong brush. And then we tie that in, and we have a character that is now approaching something like proportioned. I'm just going to stick the head on top. We're going to put the head at a slight angle. Not too much of an angle, but a slight angle. So I do horns like that, recursive horns like that. Is that going to work? Probably yes. Yeah, that's fine, I think. There we go. It's not perfect, but we'll clean that up a little bit in a second. Then cut through. They're not perfect, but no, it doesn't matter that much here. I'm going to do the second layer sketch again anyway. It's just to give me an idea of what I'm doing here. That's the sort of shaping I want. Not where I want it to be. On one. Just going to come down to there. Have hand. It's going to have the blade in it, which is going to be like a sickle held recursively for fun. And this side gets maybe not that shape. Maybe this side gets something more like that, which then has a hand, which is going to hold something here. Some like ritual stone or item, I think. Oh no, it's going to be a lantern. That would be cool. Let's do like a fey lantern type thing. There's the representation stuff I've done here. Like I've used an animal to represent, so these are goat-esque. The previous guy was the lion, like the leonine, the lion-like one. I'm trying to think of sort of folklore that correlates to it. So whether that's a cage or a lantern, I haven't decided, but it's something along those lines, right? And then so I need the legs to be a little wider, I think. Yeah. I think the torso was still a little bit too wide comparative, but I think it's better to change the legs. And similarly, I think I want to make just this bit a little bit longer too. Yeah, there we go. I have an idea for what her hair is going to do already. I want it to be... do the same thing actually for hair. Let's bring it in quite deep. There, we can go along that, and then this can come in. Let's do 3 lines in. We'll have the same thing on the other side, right? Which will show... something like that. I don't know why I'm doing that. Maybe I cut this a little bit further up, but that's kind of the idea. So it shows these like cool lines of hair. Framing the face. I need to fix these horns because they're wrong, but that's fine. This body piece comes a little bit further around, doesn't it? Yeah, there. There's a reason for that too. So actually there and there, that's the way that torso's been drawn. Okay. It's slightly weirdly proportioned and everything, but what do you think? And this arm's going to be wooden, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to tidy it up more tomorrow on stream. But I'm going to stop here, I think, because I've done a lot of drawing today. My wrist's getting tired. My muscles ache so much. Oh my god. Turns out sword tournaments plus drawing are not a great combo. This shoulder is too high, which doesn't help. And my arm is too small. Yeah, it's that. It's important. There's something still really off here, right? Like, there's not... That one worked fine. I've just done something wrong. But... it's probably a bunch of things. It's fine, I'll fix it another time. Alright, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Which means I'm going to raid someone. And then I'm going to go and rest. Oh, sweet rest. Thank you for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. Let's switch to our highly dramatic ending sequence. Oh, I forgot to run the ad break. I need to remember to do that. It means people don't get ads when they try and join the stream. That's why. Alright, thank you very much for watching. We're going to go and raid somebody. I will see you all next time. Bye.